Hi everyone, my name is Heather and I'm the person behind Happy Puppy Truffles. Today I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about what it's like adopting a pet in Japan or buying a pet in Japan. I know it's kind of a big topic everybody's talking about right now because it's Adopt a Pet Day at the end of April. And, you know, just in general, there's always stuff on the news in the States, you know, about the current puppy or dog, cat that needs a home. So it's always a good time to kind of be able to pick up a pet if you know your family is ready to have a new member added to it. I think it's a good time to be able to go, if you can, to a Dumb Friends League or Adopt Center to find the pet that you might be able to add to your family. And when I moved here to Japan, I knew I'd definitely want to get a dog as soon as I could. My father-in-law already had a dog at the time, so we added him to our family and loved him very much. And then when he passed away, I was definitely very excited to get a new puppy. I know some people like a time of mourning. I'm kind of like more in the mode of getting one as fast as I can. But we waited a little while to try to convince my father-in-law that it was okay to get another dog. And when we were looking to get a new dog, there aren't really, at that time, which was 16, 17 years ago, there was not really any, there's no Dumb Friends League in Japan. There's no place where you can go to get a dog to adopt at that time. And so the only choice was looking at the grocery stores and seeing if anyone, tacked a picture on the wall there showing that they had puppies that needed a home. Or you could ask your local veterinarian and see if they knew of anybody that had any puppies available. And I had spoken to our veterinarian who was taking care of my mother-in-law's cat and asked him if he could let us know when he found a puppy that was about the size that we wanted to have, a medium-sized dog. And so when he found one that was brought in that had been abandoned, we got a call, and that's how we got Bear. And he was a wonderful puppy, but he was slightly, he was very skittish and a little scared from having been abandoned, and I think probably some people or kids picked on him a little bit. He had some issues with being friends with everybody, but we got along really great, and he was a wonderful, wonderful pet and such a wonderful, important part of our family. And then he passed away last year, and so I knew I definitely wanted to get another pet, another dog, as soon as we could. We were so busy with so many things with my family at the end of the year, so we wound up stretching it out until just recently, and finally decided I didn't want to wait any longer and wanted to get another dog. So now, these days in Japan, there is a few places that are all volunteer-based that have people that get together and, find homes for dogs that have been abandoned and, get them cleaned up and get them ready so that people can adopt them. And because of the internet, they have all the pictures online and information about their character, different kinds of things like that, if they've been in any accidents or any scratches or bruises or anything like that. And these places are pretty cool, but they're also really strict. They want you to promise that you will guarantee that the dog is inside and has a beautiful place to stay, and which are, of course, no-brainers, but then they want you to also share, constant updates, like on Facebook or Instagram, to let them know that you're taking good care of the dog. And I saw that and I was like, well, that's kind of cool, but sort of a little overwhelming that they want me to be that constantly telling them what I'm doing with my dog. It kind of really felt a little strange, but so I was kind of not really leaning towards using them. But then there's a place that's basically called the Pound that's in each major city, usually has one. And that's where people go and take their dogs when they can't find a home for them. And basically they have, a time limit of how long they'll be there. Sometimes if the space is not that limited, then they will have dogs longer. But sometimes the shortest time they can maybe keep a dog would be 10 days to 2 weeks. So, and then they're euthanized. So I thought maybe it'd be cooler to be able to get one from there, knowing that the chances of them getting a home might be a little less. And we looked online. They had online photos of stuff of what they had available. And so my daughter and I went to go take a look, and the couple that we had been most interested in they'd already found a home. And then one that we were looking at was mentioned as being very skittish and really not very used to people at all. And then there was another dog there that we didn't even see any pictures of on the internet. That was, we really wanted a boy, and so that was our choices basically. And when we saw Hunter, who you guys have seen the videos of, we kind of just knew that he was going to be the dog that we'd take home with us. So he was super cute and super sweet, and you know, we filled out a little bit of paperwork, and there was no fee or anything. He was completely and totally free. We do have to provide proof that we've registered him with the city. We have to provide proof that we've given him his immunizations, and we also have to have proof that he's been neutered or spayed. So you do have to do all of those things. And you know, before they weren't really big on the whole spade and neutering thing, which I'm really glad that they're getting stricter about that. So that's good. So so I took took Hunter to have his first set of immunization shots, and the first time around was how much was that? Like $100, I think, and the next series will be like $80, and then the spading neutering is between $100 to $200 depending on stuff. You know, for a girl it's usually a little more expensive, but so we do all that, and then that's about it. So I went to the city office to register him, and I had to fill out a little questionnaire that would let them know what kind of dog he was, what color he was, how long his ears were, and his tail, and all those things. So I did all of that, and then they gave me a little plate that's his tag for me to put on his collar. There is an option for putting, you know, microchips in dogs in Japan, so if you're interested in that, you can do that. We chose not to, but you can certainly do that. But that's definitely one of the things, of the ways that you can, you know, possibly get a dog. If you know you're going to be living in Japan for a long time, then it can be a really fun thing that you can do. But you certainly would want to make sure that you're living here long enough to keep the dog happy. I suppose you can travel with pets, but some countries and some places don't allow you to take them, or you have to kind of keep that in mind. I think some people sometimes forget that it's not just of course I can bring my dog home with me kind of thing. Depending on where you got the dog and where you're going in terms of country, you may or may not be able to bring your dog, or you might find when you arrive in the country that you have to be separated from your dog so that he can be placed in quarantine for a month to 2 months, 3 months, depending on what you're doing. So look into that to make sure you know before you go anywhere. But it's definitely been a really exciting process, and we're really happy to have Hunter in our family. And you know, he's biting me like crazy because he's a puppy, but we're having so much fun, and I'll hope to share more videos with you guys occasionally. And you can also check out my girls' website to see more stuff and posts. There's a lot more stuff there about the dogs, so check there if you want to see how Hunter is doing. I'll have a link in the description below so you guys know where that is. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything about, you know, what it's like having a dog in Japan or anything, please feel free to leave them in the comment section, and I'll have some more fun videos to share with you guys in the days to come. Thanks again always so much for watching. See you guys all later. Bye.